Anytime I come to the model room, he follows me. He's bored, so he likes to watch me. Okay? So Thunderpaws is here with us today. Thunder, can you tell me what this is? He can't. Anyhow, this is the Gremlin. Thunder, I'm going to sit beside you, okay? This is the Gremlin. It's near done. Thunder, you're not allowed on the table. It's near done. You hear the spray booth running in the background. I just put primer on the front grill. Let's take a look. Here's the underside. I had to cheat with the exhaust pipes a little bit. Some of the chrome came off. I've got the shocks on there. I did not paint the back side of the tires. That's inexperience with car models for you. Okay, it's just me not paying attention, or I would have painted the back side of the tires. I probably still could. I can pull them off. I've got the roll bar in. I've got the center console done. I just need to paint this area here green and touch up the corners here. I did not wire the engine. I could have wired it and the thing would have looked really good if I had done so. I'm not trying for perfection on this model. Just having fun and making it look good. The seats look a little hokey to me. They were supposed to be blue jeans, so they kind of have that feel. I just wish the flocking had stuck everywhere. I know I could have fixed it and got the flocking to stick everywhere. Just didn't care. Again, this is not about perfection. Center console, I'm missing the gear shifter. Been looking for it for 20 minutes, can't find it. I've lost it twice now. This is the third time. So I may not find it this time, you know, 3 times the charm. Not worried about it too much. This is again, the body's done. I mean, everything's done except for painting the body. Does she sit level? Yeah, I'm pushing pretty close. That's one of the big banes of car models, is does it sit level. Those exhaust pipes, they're almost touching the ground. That's funny. But anyhow, again, all I got left is to touch up the paint a little bit. And I got to touch up the bottom of the battery too. I'm going to do that in a second. Touch up the paint a little bit and paint the car body. I'll talk to you later. Oh, one last little tidbit before I catch some grief about about losing the parts. I keep all my parts in this box. I put it in this box. Right here. Sealed box. Thunderpaw proof. He knocks the box over, I don't lose any of the parts. You can see I got some small parts in there. After I remove them from the sprue, they always go in boxes like this. And it still managed to disappear. It's a tiny little part. I can make it with a piece of coat hanger and a blob of glue, so it's not really a big deal. Just annoying. At least it's a part that's easy to replicate. I'll be back in a little while. Bye. Alrighty, I am about to paint the Gremlin who is sitting in the box here. The body of the Gremlin, anyhow. This is the paint I'm using. AMC Big Bag Green. I just think the Gremlin should be green. I found some reference photos that are of a Gremlin that's this color. And I like it. Now, back to the spoons. You guys saw this in an earlier video. I did the red Tamiya paint right here. I'm sure this one's a 10 PSI because of the shininess of it. That's Tamiya. Okay? The 10 PSI paint from this company is there. They're both very glossy. This is the same Tamiya I had trouble with before. That's 20 PSI. Your air pressure really has a bearing on the orange peel shows up or not. So does the paint, because if you look at this scale finishes paint at 20 PSI, which is right there, there's a little or no orange peel. So the brand of paint as well as how you paint it plays a role in it. And that's why I did the spoon, so I could check. I got this shook up really good. I'm going to stop for a second. I'm going to get the spray booth set. I'm not going to film the spraying of this. I'm going to drop the air pressure on the compressor to 10 PSI, which I know is really low, but with that compressor, it'll work because of the tank. I don't think you can do it with a tankless one. It's too low of a pressure if you don't have a tank. But with a tank, the pressure's low enough. I mean, with a tank, there's consistent air supply, so spraying at 10 PSI will work. And that paint's thinned enough to work at 10 PSI. So I'm going to get everything set up so I can paint this. I've already got part of the fender on its tree. I will show you the end result. All right, David here, he went walking off on me. He is masking his solar panels so he can do the black paint on them today. I still haven't ordered the iridescent purple and blue.
That's all right. I probably won't be done masking today.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I'm ordering.
Got 8
I've got
sides
one
there.
half of one.
Right. I'm going to get it ordered real soon. I just didn't get to it this week. Okay? You are working on the seams.
Got a seam, painted them last time.
And you can see where they're not so good. We went over that in the last clip.
Yep.
One thing, we're going to try and experiment today. You've got a lot of bad glue marks on there where that's super glue for gluing the rear stabilizers on.
Right here, especially underneath there.
Yeah, and we're going to try to remove it today
All right.
with some chemicals. Let's see if I have them here. Yes, I do. Chemicals. I even blocked out the brand name because, well, I didn't want anyone to know what it was, but you can still see it if you look hard enough.
That's going to take off my fingernail polish as well.
That's what that's for.
Oh, dear.
Try it on a piece of sprue that doesn't have parts attached first, so we know this isn't eating the sprue.
Okay.
If this doesn't eat the sprue, and I know this will take off super glue, we're in good shape.
Okay.
And Dallin, you're still doing decals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we showed off what you were doing last time. Look at that instrument cluster. Oh, there's something you can do with that though. If you can put it someplace where it's not going to move. I'm going to be doing some of that today too, and we can do your windshield today too.
Okay.
Okay. I need to do the windshield for the Gremlin.
Alright.
All right. But he's doing decals. He's putting decals on the steering wheel, and there's decals that go on the seats.
Yeah, the name on it. Right
Okay. All right. Well, he's going to be doing that when he's done with decals. We're going to prep his car body today for painting, I think. No, let's see how much you got left. The last thing we should do is paint that body.
Okay.
Okay? Because as little touching as possible on it.
And that's probably the toughest thing with kids doing models is they probably want to do that very first.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the biggest
Well, I did that first when I built the Honda, and I ran into a lot of trouble with the Honda. With the I was touching it so much.
Yeah.
I actually broke it. And it was getting fingerprints on it all the time. And no, it's the very last thing you do. In fact, you can see with the Gremlin here, and you guys haven't seen this. I have a little bit of paint touch up, but it's pretty much done.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
It's got a teeny bit of paint touch up here and there, and I lost the gear shifter. So I'm going to have to get the gear shifter. All right, I got to stop. The wife's leaving. I'll talk to you guys. Be back in a bit. All right, we're going to work on stripping the super glue off the sides where he got it a little too thick. Now, he's asking a few good questions. We're going to reiterate them. First off, we're trying fingernail polish remover. This is acetone based. Acetone will eat styrene. Okay?
Oh, yeah. I remember my dad using this to get his fingers apart one time when using some of the...
It will weaken the super glue.
So
But acetone itself can eat styrene. That's acetone-based fingernail polish remover. It's nowhere near as strong as pure acetone.
Okay.
Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to test it first on a piece of sprue. So just find a blank piece of sprue.
I can not even use a sprue. I can just use this. This is the fin that I didn't use.
Well, okay, no, a lot of people wouldn't do that.
Why?
They'd save that for something else.
Oh, no, I'm not going to.
I got a box of parts down here, I save for scratch building.
You can keep those if you want.
Okay. Just cut a piece of sprue off.
All right.
You got plenty of that stuff you're not using.
Well, you got
Okay.
an extra one of those.
So,
Here.
those other ones were made in the sprue, and
They're
were
too
the
big.
wrong. Those were too small.
Too small, yeah.
Yeah, proportionally.
And what the company did is the first release of the kit had the two small ones. And all the people started complaining, and the company went, "Oh, we'll fix it," and they made an upgrade. Now it's cheaper for them to do a resin cast kit piece than it is for them to make an entirely new sprue.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Now, getting back to that, go ahead.
What am I doing here? Just seeing.
You're just seeing if it's going to eat into it, if it's going to soften it, the surface.
Smells eating into me.
If you want, you can go over to the spray booth and do it in the spray booth, because then the fumes won't get to you.
All of us a little.
Now, one other thing. The acetone can eat the styrene, but it won't eat the resin. Resin cures through a chemical process, so it actually changes material, and that's resin.
This part was resin.
Yes.
And so it's not going to hurt that, but it should take off.
It'll take the super glue off both. The thing is, we need to make sure we're not damaging the styrene.
Right, and it doesn't look.
I suspect it's not going
It
to.
doesn't look like we're.
What is styrene?
Styrene is a type of plastic. It's thermoset. You heat it up. Not thermoset, sorry. Solvents can dissolve it. When the solvents leave, it resolidifies. And acetone's one of those solvents.
Okay.
Resin is a chemically cured plastic. You two parts mix together, and the two parts cure. And once it's cured, heat doesn't affect it, solvents don't affect it. Because
Resin.
it's cured. Resin, yes.
And then what was the other one again?
Styrene.
Styrene.
Styrene, polystyrene.
Okay.
It's a type of plastic. That's what most models are made out of, because you can heat it and inject it, and it cures.
Okay.
Okay, but resin, once it's cured, it doesn't heat, it doesn't inject, it doesn't anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to be? Will this take off the wing? If I.
If you get it too close into the wing, it will.
Okay, so I don't want to do that.
No, you don't want to do that. Let's open the window and get the venting out the window.
And which is our.
Oh wow, there it is. Did you guys smell the paint when you walked up out there?
No.
Okay. Well, the wife tells me quite often when she's walking up and I have this thing running, she smells paint outside. That means it's doing its job.
Yeah, right.
She has a really good sense of smell.
Okay.
What are the other switches?
This is the air compressor.
Okay.
This one is the exhaust fan, and this is the lights.
Okay. Cool. That's
Okay.
All right. So I'm just gonna.
Since it doesn't look it, I wouldn't rub vigorously. I would be careful. If you push too hard on these, you might break them free.
Right.
But yeah, just gently rubbing on there, and make sure you don't get any more on there than the paper towel can hold. Don't pull it on there. Don't slop it on. Eventually, you'll be able to wipe that stuff off, and it's going to be far better than sanding.
Yeah.
Because you can sand it off, but you're going to also mar the surface while you do it, and this won't mar the surface.
Gotcha.
Okay?
All right.
So have at it, and we'll take a look at the end results. Okay, now we've discovered a couple of things. One, the fingernail polish remover does remove the super glue from the surface of the plane, and it is not harming the plastic in the least bit. Okay, for those of you that were curious, yeah, it's doing a real good job. He's got a bad fingerprint back here, and I'm going to get rid of it for him in a second because the fume's getting.
One thing too that I discovered is when I put it together, I just should have been a little more tidy, like right in here in that seam.
Yeah,
and wipe that up
seam
when
looks
it was wet, because this isn't even getting it off.
No, it's not going to get something like that. That's probably a mixture of styrene / glue, and
yeah.
This isn't hurting the styrene, but it's hurting the glue. And there's a bad spot right here. Sanding's going to work on that. I've got a file that'll work on that, so we're going to get you going on that. The other thing is the seam running across the belly here. I got to have a mind to give you a panel scriber and just show you how to scribe a line along there. Okay? And to scribe a line down here, too, because they're supposed to... Probably there was a line across there.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to remove it, we can. We can remove it real easily. It's called Mr. Surfacer. Okay?
I'm okay with lines.
So, I'll get the scriber and I'll show you how to scribe.
Perfect.
That'll work. And you are ready to do... You got your decal work done?
Yes, son. Yeah.
Okay. So, you need to clear coat a few things. And... You're ready to put the sealer. Did you clear coat the dash before you put the decals on?
You did it. It was.
Okay, I did
before.
it. Okay. So that means if you just seal the decals on the dash, we're good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some drops of Future in the instrument clusters. Okay? So let me find the Future real quick. Future floor finish. It's this stuff. Pledge with Future Shine.
Oh.
Or the new version of it is Pledge Floor Care Multi-Finish. It's the same stuff. What it is it is an acrylic paint. You put it on your floors and it leaves your floors glossy. It's a glossy, clear acrylic paint. And once it cures, it is tough, really tough, unlike a lot of these other paints. We have Future in a drop bottle. Okay, I'm going to give you get some toothpicks.
Okay.
Okay. And we got our discarded soda, beer. I don't drink beer anymore. Soda, yeah, some people are going to comment on that one for sure. Soda caps. Squirt some Future in there. Use your toothpick to drip it in there. You want it about level.
Okay.
It'll smooth itself out and level itself out. But you want to try to fill in the entire area around each one of those instrument panels with this stuff.
Okay.
Okay? And if you do it right, it'll look real glossy just in those one spots.
Okay.
And you could try to drop it in there with this, but the drops are going to be too big.
Yeah.
So use a toothpick. Bleed it over. All right?
All right. Okay.
Okay, David here has got his solar panels taped. I'm going to give him a word of advice beforehand. I didn't watch him tape. He just went at it. First thing, I would take a toothpick and rub down the edges
Okay.
to make sure that tape is down good. It's called burnishing. You want to burnish down the tape.
Okay. I did that with my fingernail.
Okay, then you're probably okay there. Second thing I'm going to tell you to do is take some of this gloss clear coat and spray it. One, we're using this stuff because this stuff cures up really fast. It's lacquer.
Okay.
Okay, a lacquer clear coat's going to be cured by the time you're done painting. By the time you're done painting the last one, the first one's dry and cured.
All right.
That's how good the lacquer paints are. That way you can paint the black coat right after it. And the reason we're doing this over the tape is because this will seal the tape down. Any spot where that tape's not completely down flush with the plastic, this will creep underneath it and seal it.
Okay.
You want this creeping under the tape instead of your black paint.
Right.
It'll keep you from getting marks.
I can picture it in what you're talking about.
You can picture what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a quick, easy way to seal down your tape.
Okay.
And since it's a clear paint, you don't care.
Right.
Okay? And you can put a flat coat of paint over it any day when you're done.
All right.
Okay? So we're using the gloss right now because the flat will leave marks. The gloss won't.
Okay.
Okay? Even a semi-gloss will leave some marks under there.
Okay.
The gloss will look shiny where it came through, and you'll see how good your tape job is, but you can put a flat coat over it and the shiny's gone.
Okay.
Okay?
Very good. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to let him get going on that.
And I can just put this right in the...
Yeah, there's no mixing or anything of that
Okay.
stuff. I like that clear coat. That's one of my favorite paints right there.
Good.
All right, everyone, here's the Gremlin. It's been drying in its cure box, and it got orange peeled. It was incredibly humid today, so I'm not surprised that happened. It's real tacky right now. It's not cured. That's an enamel. Obviously, it is not lacquer. A lacquer paint would have cured up by now. So I'm going to put it back in its box. I am not touching that for 3 or 4 days. If it's still tacky after that, then I know there was a reaction between it and the Tamiya primer, which is not a good thing. And that might have been why it orange peeled. Because those were on bare plastic and they didn't orange peel. That was on Tamiya primer and it orange peeled. So if that's the case, then I'll have to strip that and start over. That's nothing new. Showing you guys the Zaku. I'll be back later.